You win by 2, but you outshoot UAB 33-11 and have a 13-1 advantage in corners. Are those stats more indicative of the difference in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had the ball in their end a lot. We had the ball around their goal a lot. We were able to free ourselves and create chances. We probably should have scored more than we did. The post got us a couple of times. The goalkeeper got us a couple of times. But overall, we'll take it.
You got several shots off the crossbar. Was that by design? Was the book on this goalie to shoot high?
And, it seems like in the last 2 weeks we've owned the crossbar. It's just unlucky. Especially when you're shooting from distance, a lot of times you got to get the ball up in the air a little bit, and that's what happens.
You talked earlier this year about your desire to have your team generate some more offensive chances. 33 shots, a lot of chances. Is that simply the players being more aggressive? Was there something scheme-wise that you saw in the UAB defense when you were scouting? How do you attribute the extra chances tonight?
Yeah, I think especially early in the game we were really aggressive going forward, and then beginning of the second half, again, really aggressive going forward. And we sort of stressed that at halftime about, not trying to defend, but really to try to go after them and attack. And, we're capable up front. We can cause some problems.
UAB came into this game with a record of 2-14. Were you worried at all about the intensity or focus you would get from your team when you face a team with that kind of record?
Absolutely. I was concerned. And looking at UAB, I think the last 7 games, they've lost each game by 1 goal. So they scared me a little bit because they're in every game. They're not a bad team. They're capable of beating people. And I was concerned we might be looking forward to Sunday a little bit. I don't know if any of that happened. I know we did create a lot of chances and we scored 3 goals.
Kenzie Scoville comes through with a couple more goals tonight. Gives her 8 on the season. Mm-hmm. What are the biggest changes you've seen in her since the beginning of the year to now?
She's more and more confident. She always gives you great effort. There's no doubt you're going to get great effort from her. But I think she's more confident. She gets a little bit, gets it in the way that we want to play and the way that we want to use her. So she's a little more advanced right now than she was in August for sure.
UAB got a goal late in the first half, and then you outshoot them 17-5 in the second half. What did you talk about at halftime?
Well, the goal was disappointing. First of all, we basically fell over each other 3 times in order for the ball to go in the net. So that was disappointing. But again, we were really focused at halftime on picking up the tempo of the game, trying to play faster, trying to be more aggressive, trying to get more energy into the game. The game was a little bit dead in the first half, so we wanted to be more aggressive.
How much, when you're leading up to this game, you now have 2 games left in the regular season. How much do you talk to your team about positioning for the Conference USA tournament, and how much of your focus during the week is simply this opponent, strengths and weaknesses? Do you talk about the big picture in the conference tournament?
We haven't talked about it once. We haven't talked about where we are in the standings, how many points we have, or how many points anybody else has, or what our chances are for an NCAA tournament. We don't talk about that. We talk about playing the next game. It's all we can do at this point, and we'll continue that way. And I did tell them the other day, we're not going to talk about that. We are going to just talk about playing the game.
You said when you got hired that being the first year for you and your staff, you thought this team would look significantly different toward the end of the year than the one that started the year in August. Now you have 2 games left in the regular season. What are the biggest differences you see in your team that you're rolling out now compared to what you started the season with?
Well, first of all, we're settled on a back 4, which took us, 2 months to get to. And I think we've played better in the back. We're more settled in the goal. Lauren now has a little more experience and, I think is a little more confident. The attack now is a lot more organized. I think in the beginning of the year it was a lot of individual efforts. I thought tonight we moved the ball pretty well. And especially in the attacking third, we were able to put some things together.
With Shelby Redmond and Kenzie Scoville, your top 2 scorers, scoring all 3 goals tonight, combining for 15 shots. How important is their offensive execution here as each game gets more and more important?
I think, if you're going to win, you got to have people you can count on to score. And I think that we're all pretty confident right now that we have 2 at least, and Olivia's probably a third. if you have people you can count on, you're confident going into a game that you got a chance.